Hello students, this is your economics teacher Ayana. I hope you are well and utilizing the time wisely.
In the previous class, you learned about Chapter 7 Indian Economy. Today, you are going to learn about Chapter 8 Indian Economy before and after independence. First, we will discuss private sector and public sector banks, nationalization of banks, performance of India's 5-year plans and development indicators. Fine, let us enter into the topics. Students, take the page number 178. First, we will discuss public sector and private sector banks. First, public sector banks. Public sector bank is a bank in which the government hold a major portion of the shares. Say for example, State Bank of India is public sector bank. The government holding in this bank is 58.60%. Similarly, BNP is a public sector bank. The government hold a stake of 58.87%. Usually in public sector banks, government holding are more than 50%. Public sector banks are classified into two categories. First, nationalized bank. Second, state banks and its associates. In case of nationalized banks, the government controls and regulates the functions of the banking entity. Some examples are State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda, OBC, Allahabad Bank, etc. However, the government keeps reducing the stake in PSU banks as and when they sell shares. So, to that extent, they can also become minority shareholders in these banks. This is in accordance with the privatization policy. Private sector bank. In these banks, most of the equity is owned by private bodies, corporation, institution or individuals rather than government. These banks are managed and controlled by private promoters. Of the total banking industry in India, public sector bank constitute 72.9% share while the rest is covered by private players. In terms of the number of banks, there are 27 public sector banks and 22 private sector banks. As part of its differentiated banking regimes, Reserve Bank of India, the apex banking body, has given license to Payments Bank and small finance banks. This is an attempt to boost the government's financial inclusion drive. As a result, Airtel Payments Bank and Paytm Payments Bank Limited have come up. How far these banks would help the poor people is not known. Second, you are going to learn about nationalizations of bank. After independence, the government of India adopted planned economy development. For this purpose, first 5-year plan came into existence since 1951. The main objectives of the economic planning aimed at social welfare. Before independence, commercial banks were in the private sector. These commercial banks failed in helping the government to achieve social objectives of planning. Therefore, the government decided to nationalize 14 commercial banks on 19th July 1969. In 1980, again the government took over another 6 commercial banks. Objectives of Nationalization Bank. The government of India nationalized the commercial banks to achieve the following objectives. First, the main objectives of nationalization was to attain social welfare. Sectors such as agriculture, small and village industries were in need of funds for their expansion and further economic development. Second, nationalizations of banks helped to curb private monopolies in order to ensure a smooth supply of credit to socially desirable sections. Third, in India, nearly 70% of population lived in rural areas. Therefore, it was needed to encourage the banking habits among the rural population. Fourth, nationalizations of banks was required to reduce the regional imbalances where the banking facilities were not available. Fifth, before independence, the number of banks were certainly inadequate. After nationalization, new bank branches were opened in both rural and urban areas. Sixth, banks created credit facilities mainly to the agricultural sector and its allied activities after nationalizations. Next, we will discuss performance of India's 5-year plans. Economic planning is the process in which the limited natural resources are used skillfully so as to achieve the desired goals. The concept of economic planning in India or 5-year plan is derived from Russia. India has launched 12 5-year plans so far. 12th 5-year plan will be the last one. The government of India has decided to stop the launching of the 5-year plan and it was replaced by Niti Aayog. First 5-year plan 1951 up to 1956. It was based on the Harrod-Domer model. Its main focus was on the agricultural development of the country. This plan was successful and achieved the GDP growth rate of 3.6%. Second 5-year plan 1956 up to 1961. It was based on the PC Mahalanobis model. Its main focus was on the industrial development of the country. This plan was successful and achieved the growth rate of 4.1%. Third 5-year plan 1961 up to 1966. This plan was called Godgil Yojana also. The main targets of this plan was to make the economy independent and to reach self-sufficient positions or take off. Due to Indo-China War, this plan could not achieve its growth target of 5.6%. Plan Holiday 1966 up to 1969. The main reason behind the Plan Holiday was the Indo-Pakistan War and the failure of third plan. During this plan, annual plans were made and equal priority was given to agriculture, its allied sectors and the industry sectors. Fourth 5-year plan 1969 up to 1974. There are two main objectives of this plan, that is growth with stability and progressive achievements of self-reliance. This plan failed and could achieve growth rate of 3.3% only against the target of 5.7%. Fifth 5-year plan 1974 up to 1979. In this plan, top priority was given to agriculture. Next came industry and mines. Overall, this plan was successful, which achieved the growth rate of 4.8% against the target of 4.4%. The draft of this plan was prepared and launched by D.B. Dar. This plan was terminated in 1978. Rolling plan. This plan was started with an annual plan for 1978 up to 1979 and as a continuation of the terminated fifth 5-year plan. Sixth 5-year plan 1980 up to 1985. The basic objectives of this plan was poverty eradication and technological self-reliances. Garibi Hato was the motto. It was based on the investment Yojana. Its growth target was 5.2%, but it achieved 5.7%. Seventh 5-year plan 1985 up to 1990. Objectives of this plan include the establishment of the self-sufficient economy and opportunities for productive employment. For first time, due to the pressure from private sector, the private sector got the priority over public sector. Its growth target was 5.0%, but it achieved 6.0%. Annual plans. 8th 5-year plan could not take place due to the volatile political situation at the center. So, two annual programs are formed in 1990 up to 91 and 1991 up to 92. 8th 5-year plan 1992 up to 97. In these plans, the top priority was given to development of the human resources, that is employment, education and public health. During this plan, new economic policy of India was introduced. This plan was successful and got annual growth rate of 6.8 against the target of 5.6%. 9th 5-year plan 1997 up to 2002. The main focus of this plan was growth with justice and equity. The plan failed to achieve the growth target of 7% and the Indian economy grew only at the rate of 5.6%. 10th 5-year plan 2002 up to 2007. This plan aimed to double the per capita income of India in the next 10 years. It aimed to reduce the poverty ratio to 15% by 2012. Its growth target was 8.0%, but it achieved only 7.2%. 11th 5-year plan 2007 up to 2012. Its main theme was faster and more inclusive growth. Its growth rate target was 8.1%, but it achieved only 7.9%. 12th 5-year plan 2012 up to 2017. Its main theme is faster, more inclusive and sustainable growth. Its growth target rate is 8%. Nidhi Aयोग. The Planning Commission has been replaced by the Nidhi Aयोग on 1st January 2015. Nidhi means National Institution for Transforming India. Aयोग will monitor, coordinate and ensure implementations of the accepted sustainable development goals. Nidhi Aयोग serves as a knowledge hub and monitors progress in the implementations of policies and programs of the Government of India. It includes the matter of national and international importance on the economic front, disseminations of best practices from within the country and from other nations, the infusion of new policy ideas and and specific issue-based support in order to understand the achievements of the Niti Aayog researchers need to be done then and there. Next, development indicators. First, Human Development Index. United Nations Development Programs has been publishing Human Development Report annually since 1990. Human Development Index helped the government to the real uplifting of standard of living of the peoples. Human Development Index is based on the following three indicators. First, longevity is measured by life expectancy at birth. Second, educational attainment. Third, standard of living measured by real per capita GDP. Before calculating Human Development Index, the fixed minimum and maximum values of each indicators are chosen. The performance in each dimension is expressed as a value between 0 and 1 by applying the following formula. Dimension index is equal to actual value minus minimum value divided by maximum value minus minimum value. According to Planning Commission's National Human Development Report 2011, Human Development Index has improved significantly between 1980 up to 2011. That is, the Human Development Index went up from 0.302 in 1981 to 0.472 score in 2011. As per latest Human Development Report 2016 by the United Nations Development Programs, India has been ranked 131st out of 188 countries. Out of 188 countries, India lies in a medium human development bracket. The other nations such as Bangladesh, Bhutan, Pakistan, Kenya, Myanmar and Nepal attain the medium human development. The Human Development Records 2016 stated that regional disparities in education, health and living standards within India has caused India's downfall to 27% on Human Development Index score. India's Human Development rank values 2015 stood at 0.624, which had increased from 0.580 in 2010. India rank in 2014 was 131. Biswajit Guha has stated that the conclusions of Human Development Index neglected many important aspects of human development. He has created 4 indicators of Human Development Index: HDI1, HDI2, HDI3 and HDI4. HDI1 is based on United Nations Developmental Program methodology as given in Human Development Report. He has enlarged the scope of Human Development Index by adding 3 more dimensions such as quality of life, poverty eradication and urbanization. Various countries including India are continuously making efforts to improve and enlarge the scope of available statistical information. Last, we will discuss Physical Quality of Life Index, PQLI. Maurice D. Morris developed the Physical Quality of Life Index, PQLI. The PQLI is measures to calculate the quality of life. For this, he include 3 indicators such as life expectancy, infant mortality rate and literacy rate. A scale of each indicator ranges from the numbers 1 to 100. Number 1 represents the worst performance by any country. 100 is the best performance. For example, in the case of life expectancy, the upper limit of 100, this was assigned to 77 years, which was achieved by Sweden in 1973. The lower limit of 1 was assigned to 28 years, which was achieved by Guinea-Bissau in 1960. The main differences between the two is the inclusions of income in Human Development Index and the exclusion of income from Physical Quality Life of Index. Human Development Index represents both the physical and financial attributes of development, and PQLI has only the physical aspect of life. That's all for today. We will continue in the next class. Finish the assignment by clicking the link below.
Yeah.